I am Shadow Straley, and of sound mind and body, I am making this video for... I'm making this video because I'm of distinct impression that my narcissistic, abusive ex-wife has decided yet again to weaponize the legal system against me. You may say, what do you mean, once again? I have not talked to my daughter in a month. In fact, we're coming up on month 2. Why is that? Well, look at what you're seeing on your screen. My ex-wife got a divorce from me, one that she actively and willfully hid from me, and I can prove that. She admitted to it. I have it on record. But she got the divorce, and looking over the terms, other than losing my parental rights, I had no qualms about that. But the message you're seeing right now are that my ex-wife was not happy with our private conversations. I demonstrated in a FaceTime call that I could behave myself in front of our daughter. And then in private proceeded to continue to chastise my ex-wife for trying to lie to me about the divorce, namely, that she wasn't trying to hide it from me, even though she admitted to doing so. And I have that documented, if necessary, to present. So, there is no order, which this is her giving the orders that I need to do as she says, thus the order. I told you what the requirements are that I'm allowed to make per the court order. This is not the only time she has talked about me having access to my daughter as her allowing me to do so. A very important term to denote power. She feels powerful and in control. She isn't afraid of me. And if I follow them, I can see my daughter. And if I don't, then I won't. That doesn't sound to me like somebody who's afraid of contact with me. This is someone who knows she has all the cards. She knows that she legally took away my rights as a father, and took away my right to see my daughter on the regular, other than through her. And she has since used that as a point of leverage between the two of us. She has made no qualms about doing so, and has had no restraint. It is not the only message where she uses this terminology either. This is one of the first reasons why I cannot possibly abide her having the power of a restraining order. Because to transition to my second reason why, I need to inform you of something. She has known for over a year that I do not feel physically safe in the same room as her. I have made no qualms about that, and I've even said we need to actually get therapy or counseling before I feel safe in the same room as you. And as of December 8th, I left a voicemail telling her that until she can take accountability for the things she has done, I don't want to have any contact with her. So as of December 8th, without a restraining order, I have made clear that I wish to go no contact with her. Simple as that. That itself should resolve the restraining order. But why? Why do I want to go no contact with her? That's because of this. You see that cut there? See the little discoloration around it? The last time she and I were physically in the same space, this wound, right here, was caused by her throwing my phone at me full force. That, and quite a few other objects around the hotel at the time. And why was that? Why was she throwing it at me? And why did I just simply take it? Well, I was ignoring her. Why was I ignoring her? Because she was yelling, shouting, screaming, demeaning me, insulting me, and attacking my character. I didn't want to fight her. I didn't want to have a conflict with her. My goal was to diffuse the problem the only way I knew how, because trying to engage with it when we were under as much stress as we were was not going to solve the problem. She wasn't listening anyway. I knew myself, and I knew there was only so much a human being can absorb of abuse before they feel the need to say something. And that would have been unproductive. Though I still to this day suspect that was why she was so pissed when I put earphones in and started to ignore her. Because she wanted me to say something. She wanted me to break so she could use it against me. This is narcissistic abuse. They will forget every horrible thing they did to get a rise out of you, and they will never once let go of anything you've ever done in response. They never take accountability for anything they do. This right here is but one of many abuses I have documented, not for the sake of use, which is why this is the only incident I will be referencing for this video, but so I could remind myself of what was real and what was not. She has been presented with a less than 4-minute video of more events that were abusive, very real, and could not simply be explained away as me being insane. And it was her inability to process that 4-minute video that made me realize that for my own sake, for my own mental health, I had to go no contact. It helped reveal to me that this is narcissistic abuse, and that the first step in my healing is being willing to let go. I set for her a reasonable metric in case I was wrong, which is that we discuss these things. She looks at what's objectively real that I've presented to her, and she and I can have a conversation about it. She has refused to. Because the last thing she said is that I was crazy and a liar, and all I presented in the video was her own words and actions. I don't want to have contact with somebody like that. I am perfectly okay going no contact, especially if contact is not required for the sake of my daughter. Because if my ex-wife wants to withhold contact with my daughter until I consent to being abused, then I will not be doing that. I will not consent to my own abuse, especially given that withholding my interactions with my daughter is only causing long-term developmental harm to my daughter. My daughter will, when she is a fully grown adult, find me, and she and I can sort out why I wasn't there. I can show her the same thing I've shown my ex-wife, and everything my ex-wife has done since, perhaps even including this video. And if you are seeing this, Violet, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were put in this position. The short version is, she is not afraid of me. What she wants is for me to shut up. She wants to silence me the same way she has for 4 years. She mistook my consent to my abuse for having dominated me and earned my silence. That was not the case at any point. I cared enough for her and this family to hold my tongue. Even now, I am not saying more than I have to communicate how unbalanced her perspective is. I am not here to seek conflict or personal gratitude. I am not to be aggrandized and labeled a martyr. I don't need to prove 4 years of abuse to stop a restraining order from being used for further abuse. I only need to prove that 1, she is using this as leverage to abuse me further, and that I have no interest in approaching her or any further contact. I have proven both within a reasonable doubt here. I hope the court can understand that, provided that there is a court for a restraining order hearing. And if not, I've at least made public, and discreetly, calmly, clear that I have no current interest in interacting with my ex-wife, that I believe myself to be a victim of narcissistic abuse, and that because of that I am choosing to go no contact. This is a public record before I've ever been served any kind of paperwork, provided my suspicions are even correct. If they aren't, it's still on record for future reference. I don't need to go airing my dirty laundry to the public at large. I'm far more discreet than that. That said, I have no interest on pressing the matter. I will be going no contact from my wife moving forward, whether there's a restraining order out against me or not. I simply don't want to have to spend my entire life worrying that she's going to spontaneously make a trip to where she knows I am, specifically to exert her power and get some modicum of petty revenge for no necessary reason. I've gone through enough for 4 years. I don't want to live another 4 years living in fear of her trying to exert petty power over me. Have a good day.